Welcome to Orange County Power Players, where we spotlight the personal, professional, and financial success stories of OC's top leaders. Here's your host, Danny Flores.
Welcome back to OC Power Players, where I interview some of the most successful people in Orange County. Today's honored guest is Zachary Newkirk, zooming in from Huntington Beach. Zachary is a Marine veteran. He is also the ambassador for the Newport Beach and Huntington Beach Chamber of Commerce. He spearheads and is the prime personnel when it comes to client-facing risk parameter assessment, negotiation, and placing correct personnel for their clients. He understands the core values and has been an integral part of building this company, Black River Security Solutions. They are not aiming to be the biggest, but the greatest in quality. Welcome, Zachary.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your security contracting and your history. Sounds like you have a pretty elaborate history and potentially training and scenarios, some fun, maybe not, some not as fun. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I would say I have a rather colorful past. Been working in the security industry professionally for 15 years. As I had stated before, I worked all parameters from the nightclub and bar scene as director of security in charge of hiring, training, de-escalation techniques, all the way down to active shooter training, potential threats, threat assessment that apply directly to bars, nightclubs, that industry. And then on the flip side, I guess I really got my start. One of the first big assignments I had was with a woman by the name of Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner is the mother of the very famous Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for Kris, Chloe, Kendall, multiple productions with the show. And then from there, kind of branched out and worked with other variety of celebrities, very well-known people. Some people I can kind of check off the list. I've had the opportunity of working with Kobe Bryant, Presidents Bush, Clinton, Gordon Brown, former Prime Minister of the UK, Tony Blair.
Mm-hmm.
I had the opportunity to work alongside the LAPD, LA County Sheriff's Department, Department of State, Secret Service. And through my years of working in the security industry, it's given me the ability to see all areas of security operations, risk management, risk mitigation. I have several certificates through the Department of Homeland Security, as well as FEMA. And I am a tactical shooter, both in long gun and pistol. I consider myself very well versed in hand-to-hand combat, boxing and jiu-jitsu. And to this day, I live a healthy lifestyle for the most part, try to keep myself fit, regular workouts on a weekly basis. And at the end of the day, I am tasked with a wide range of responsibilities with Black River Security, with our focus point being on quality. As you read in the intro, there's a lot of different security agencies out there. And at the end of the day, my core focus is quality. And we focus on hiring former law enforcement and active duty law enforcement, as well as veterans. And at that juncture, it gives us the ability to work with these various individuals to train them up to the standards that Black River maintains. Because the security industry is very interesting. When you think about it, you are making an investment into another company and entrusting them with $1 million, $5 million, sometimes $10 million entity.
Mm-hmm.
And if the wrong personnel are in place for that particular client, that $10 million liability becomes a $20 million liability.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot like, I compare it to you remember a television show called blind date. So
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
yeah, so the security industry is a lot like blind date. I will go out, meet with, say, for instance, Lido House in Newport
Right.
Beach. I go meet with Andre, the general manager at Lido House.
Right.
And in turn, he has to try and get a read from me to turn around and go to the legal department of the conglomerate that runs the Lido House.
Mm-hmm.
Word, and this is a multi-million dollar entity. And
Right.
false move or one mistake can completely destroy the Lido House. It can destroy Black River security.
Right.
So when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, our main goal is not only managing the risk to the client, but managing the risk to Blackwater, or Black River security, because we're not going to stay in business. We're not going to stay in business.
Right.
We're not going to have referrals. And at the end of the day, it's quality over quantity. We require that our agents have a minimum of 10 years experience. And when it comes to experience, it's not only just shooting or hand-to-hand combat or handcuffing skills, pepper spray. It comes down to de-escalation, how to talk to them. Because, I tell all my guards, everybody that you run into on a daily basis is dealing with issues that you have no idea about. So treat everybody with the utmost respect and kindness, unless they direct you otherwise. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's very simple. It's like I've been involved in 3 different shootings over 15 years. The last shooting I was involved in was in up in Hollywood, off of Ogden, right around the corner from Fairfax and Hollywood Boulevard. And the round went into a retaining wall 3 feet from where I was sitting. And it was at that point in juncture, I sat back and I thought to myself, and I'm not a religious person, but I am a faith-based person. I said, you know what, God, maybe that was a sign for me to move on and focus on another area of the security industry. And that was about the time that I kind of shifted my career focus from executive protection, close protection, to more of an executive's role in terms of a C-suite, such as a vice president. And through those experiences, it's giving me the edge to be able to train other guys and other agents we bring in to what to watch out for. Keep your head on a swivel. Situational awareness. Never let your guard down. And what's very interesting is the same attributes that I employ in the security industry, I employ it on a daily basis, whether it be going to the grocery store or putting gas in your car.
Right.
And I teach a situational awareness course. The last course that I taught was to the Orange County Association of Realtors Women's Council on situational awareness. And if people take their heads out of their phone while they're walking around, that will cut down on 50% of the violent assaults and robberies out there. The 415s, the 242. And it's interesting to me because, it's no longer, police departments, security officers, armed personnel that need to keep their head on a swivel. It's everybody. Crime doesn't pick a time between 7 at night and midnight.
No.
It happens at 1:30 in the afternoon when you're walking out of a McDonald's to get into your car. For instance, back in the day, you could leave your car running and walk into a 7-Eleven.
Yeah. I
challenge you to leave your car running today and walk into a 7-Eleven. You come
You'll
out,
be walking home. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But again, it comes down to just simply paying attention, being aware, and being aware cuts down on the opportunity for someone else to take advantage of you.
Right. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said people are walking around looking at their phone. That means they're not aware. And I've seen that come up where it's like those are the targets that these criminals are coming after, whether they're going to steal your purse or even your phone or whatever the case may be. Or yeah, yeah, that too, right? I mean, it's scary out there sometimes.
Yes, the the human trafficking epidemic in the United States right now. I I realized what was going on in the world going all the way back to my time in the Marine Corps. Um, and in the security industry, I kind of joke about this. Uh, I know a little bit more than most because of my
Hmm.
network and the people that
Hmm.
I associate with. I have operators that I associate with in the UK. I have
Hmm.
operators in throughout Europe, and we all talk. And
Hmm.
I have an international assignment that I'm looking at doing or what have you, I contact my international partners to get advanced intel, lining up travel arrangements, hotel, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, the conversation always leads to what are you seeing on the ground? What are the biggest issues on the ground right now,
Hmm.
where you're at? And the number one issue that keeps coming up over and over again, it's human trafficking. And it's amazing because when you go down that rabbit hole, you realize that human trafficking is the largest producer of wealth in the world. Because
Interesting.
once an individual is trafficked, it's not like a drug. Once a drug is trafficked, it goes from point A to point B. Once it gets to point B, it's distributed out. Human trafficking is point A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because they're trafficked over and over and over again. And every time they're trafficked, somebody's getting paid.
Now, can you elaborate a little bit on that? What age and gender are getting trafficked so that anybody who's listening becomes aware of it can happen to you?
The ages, it starts all the way at, 2 to 3 years old. Um, there's some subjects I'm not going to touch on because
Right.
I don't know how deep you want to go, but there are some very, very disturbed people out there.
Hmm.
And, it starts at 2, 3 years old and it goes all the way up to people in their 30s. And it's not necessarily a particular gender or a specific, social group. It's men and women both.
Right.
And that kind of comes back to what I was saying a little earlier about being physically fit. Make
Yeah.
yourself a hard target. When you're walking around, walk with purpose, shoulders
Hmm.
back, head held high. You know, don't don't give them a reason to think that they can take advantage of you. You know,
Right. Yeah.
and in active shooter training, they teach you fight or flight. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
you either fight or you flight. You run out of there. And I have an 18 and a 22-year-old son. And when school shootings started becoming an epidemic, Huntington Beach rolled out a program through the Huntington Beach School District. And I reviewed it, and it kind of went against some of my training.
Hmm.
And granted, I'm a little bit more on an advanced level when it comes to, active shooter situations, so on and so forth.
Right.
But
Right.
the one thing that I told my sons, I said, if there is an active shooter deemed at your school, I do not want you sitting and waiting in a classroom. I said, I want you to run out of that classroom. I want you to run as fast as you can back to the house
Hmm.
because it is harder to hit a moving target than it is to hit a sitting target.
Right. 100%.
You know, but the curriculum that was going out to students was lock the door in the classroom and sit and wait. And we saw what happened in Uvalde in Texas.
Hmm.
Kids were sitting and waiting in the classrooms, and unfortunately, there was loss of life. I had the opportunity a few years back to basically acquire the report on the Uvalde shooting.
Hmm.
It's a 78-page report that was written by the Texas State Senate. It was essentially an after-action report of where the breakdowns were, what happened, why happened, and what were the reasons. And I was shocked. It was a complete breakdown of communication between law enforcement. Complete breakdown in communication, number one. Number two, because of lack of communication between the school administrators and the boots on the ground, the responding agencies, this guy had a kind of a free run. He had a free run through the school, until the Border Patrol showed up on scene with a special unit. The Border Patrol showed up with a specialized unit, and they partnered with a SWAT team. And that was ultimately what ended, that situation. But again, it comes down to, what is your best case of survival? How are you going to survive?
Right.
So in a room with a window and to where somebody can point that firearm in that window, and those rounds can ricochet off the wall and hit you.
Yeah.
Whether it's jumping out of a window or running down a hallway or what have you, you've got a better chance of survival by running than sitting. And I teach that all my situational. If you are in a store, say you're in a grocery store,
right.
Costco, my wife laughs at me because I will not step foot in a Costco. I won't step foot in a Walmart. And the reason why is the training that I've had over the years. We refer to big box stores as kill boxes. If somebody wants to, with bad intentions, they can walk into one of those stores and cause a mass casualty event in a matter of 5 minutes or less than that, in a matter of a minute. So, it's one of those things, pick your poison in life. It's up to you to manage your risk. It's not up to somebody else. The average response time for a police department is 7 to 14 minutes. In Los Angeles County, it's 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Unless it's a stabbing, shooting, domestic violence. But the average response time is 14 minutes.
Right.
The average critical incident that takes place happens under 23 seconds.
So now as civilians, right? Because that's the reality of it. And it doesn't matter where you're at. They'll come, and it'll happen in richer places and any place in the states or the country, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
What can somebody do? There's mace, there's concealed weapons that you can carry if you get the right permit. The training behind it. What can somebody do to try to be more prepared, other than just stop looking at your phone when you're walking around and actually be aware of your surroundings?
Okay, it's funny because I have I call them levels. I have levels, or less than lethal. For instance, I don't leave my house. 9 times out of 10, I have a firearm on me. I'm Orange County Sheriff's Department, CCW, Las Vegas Metro Police Department, CCW. So I'm pretty good when it comes to being able to lawfully carry a firearm.
Right.
9 times out of 10, I have that firearm on me. But we live in a state called California. And if you know anything about California and gun laws, California is not a big proponent of firearms. But if you look at an overlay map where the most violent crimes with firearms are, they're in blue districts. And they also take place in gun-free zones.
Right.
So what's that tell you? So, but at the end of the day, back to your original question, I challenge people all the time. Whether it's signing up with 9 rounds gym, the kickboxing gym where you go in and you basically do, a 30-minute workout, 9 minutes.
Right.
Where you got a little bit of boxing mixed in there. You got a little bit of kickboxing mixed in there. A core workout. And at the end of the day, to survive in any critical situation, you need core strength. That's your midsection of your body. I challenge people to take an advanced first aid kit class where you learn how to deploy what's called a tourniquet. If you don't have a tourniquet, you you understand how to tear a t-shirt and use that as a tourniquet, or use a belt that you're wearing as a tourniquet, because it takes 14 seconds to bleed out. So if you get hit in the neck, your femoral artery, what have you, if you don't get immediate pressure applied to high and tight, as we like to call it, high and tight on that main artery, say it's in your shoulder or your leg or what have you, you're going to bleed out. So number one, get into a self-defense class, be it Krav Maga, Jiu-Jitsu, get into a first aid class, get into a situational awareness course. I've worked with churches establishing active shooter teams, working hand in hand with specific people in the congregation who are sitting in the pews every Sunday carrying a firearm. And I strategically will place these parishioners or what have you at different areas inside the hall or inside the room.
Right.
The most effective. And at the end of the day, your average person has no idea. When you go to a restaurant, where do you sit when you go to a restaurant?
Well, you got to be sitting facing that door to know what's going on.
Yeah. And
Simple.
the other thing to think about is 90 degree angle. I preach 90-degree angle because we naturally as humans can see 90 degrees to our right, to our left, through our peripheral vision and forward observing. As long as you keep it within 90 degrees, there's no threat that can come up on you.
Right.
When you walk into, I walked in restaurants several times with my wife, and she laughs at me because we'll walk in, and you wait for the hostess to set you, to sit at your table, and 9 times out of 10, they'll set me at a table in the middle of the room. And I go, excuse me, can I have that booth right over there, closest to the exit? Or can I have that booth right there closest to the front door? Or can I have that booth right there where there's a window? Because any advantage that you can take advantage of will save your life. It'll save your life and the life of the people around you.
Right.
When it comes to driving, I tell people all the time, road rage, it's not worth it.
No.
So many people are carrying firearms in their vehicles. I have 2 friends of mine, close friends, who have both been shot on California freeways because of road rage. So when you think about that, and I like you, I drive the 405, the 110, the 710, and it amazes me when I watch people going back and forth in vehicles.
Oh yeah, no, you see that absolutely.
You're playing with somebody's life with a 5,000-pound piece of metal. One false move. So again, that all ties back into situational awareness. When you're coming out of a grocery store, getting into your vehicle, the very first thing you do when you get in your vehicle is lock it. Don't start the vehicle and then lock it.
Right.
When you start your vehicle and you're not paying attention to locking it, the minute you start it, somebody can open that door, rip you out, and steal your vehicle. So it's little behavioral adjustments that will ultimately save your life in a critical incident.
Right. And it's no, they come after everybody. I've seen videos. I had a friend of mine that was putting gas in her car, and they put this on the news, so this isn't anything new. You get out of your car to fuel up, lock your car. But somebody got out of their car, opened up the passenger side, took her purse out, locked, and took off with her purse.
It happens every day, all day.
Yeah.
Because I watch people get out of their cars on their phones. And they have zero awareness of what's going on around them. It amazes me. The other thing is earbuds.
Oh yeah, don't walk with earbuds. Don't jog with earbuds because you can't hear.
Nope. If if you need an earbud while you're working out, or say you're walking your dog or what have you, put one earbud in one ear. That's it. In the state of California, it's actually a ticketable offense by the local PD if you're riding a bike with earbuds in.
Also driving, I think it's an offense as well,
Yep.
because people do that. And that's like, you can't hear the sirens. That simple. You need to listen to the sirens so you can get out of the way.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time you've spent in LA, but it has always amazed me, like in Los Angeles, how the emergency medical teams work their way around the city, from the fire department to paramedics to the police, because people don't get out of the way. They don't move.
Nope.
They'll have an ambulance right up behind them blaring sirens, and they have earbuds in their ears, like you just said.
Yeah.
And they're not even moving.
Yeah.
And the potential for somebody being in the back of that rescue ambulance, and they're on their way out of this life, and here you've got a goofball with earbuds in their ears.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It happens all the time.
All the time.
So the idea is like you mentioned, there's classes that people should take. There's habits that people should change. I mean, just don't go walking with earbuds because you can't hear. And maybe some training, and maybe at the same time it kind of helps you stay fit to be able to maneuver around a situation like that.
Yeah, getting on a 2 to 3 day a week regiment, doing something, be it Krav Maga, jiu-jitsu, boxing, whatever. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. You feel better. You feel much more capable in a stressful situation. And just overall health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you feel good, you look good, and life, is a lot easier. You see it happening right now with Health and Human Services. They're pretty much gutting, the administration when it comes to Health and Human Services, because look at the obesity epidemic in the United States right now.
Oh yeah. No.
Like, I don't know about you, but there are certain fast food restaurants out there. If I go eat there right now, in 2 hours I'll be sick.
Yeah, your body's not used to it.
Because I can't handle it. And it amuses me because the food, it's genetically modified, full of chemicals, full of seed oils, all the stuff that's bad for us. And a few little tweaks of your diet will change everything.
Right. As simple as eliminating processed foods. That simple. Cook more at home. Buy if you can, buy organic food. That would definitely make a huge difference.
Yep.
And maintain a reliable diet.
100%.
Yeah. It's a little bit of effort, but everybody has to kind of figure it out and figure out what's important for them, what's priority for them at the same time. But
another thing I was going to touch on, I completely forgot when we were talking a bit different steps that people can take. Having a dog in the house. You know what I mean? And if you can, get a shepherd, get a dog that's trainable, get a boxer, shepherd, Doberman. I have a Belgian Malinois, generally known as canines. The Malinois makes up probably 60% of the law enforcement in the United States. They use Malinois. They're extremely intelligent, highly trainable. Like right now, I'm on the podcast with you. She's behind me laying down, and she hears people walking past, my place, and she hears cars and stuff. But she's quiet. But if somebody comes to the front door, or somebody walks through the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
she let them know she's there.
Yeah.
I guarantee you nobody's coming over my back patio fence with her sitting there,
Right.
because they've all seen the videos of Belgian Malinois basically climbing walls. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
No. Yeah.
They call them fur missiles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she runs at 40 miles an hour.
Wow. That's fast. Yeah.
When we play fetch, I have to be careful, because if I'm standing in the wrong direction or facing
Mm-hmm.
the wrong way, and she catches my legs the wrong way,
Mm-hmm.
she'll knock me square on my butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
No,
but yeah, dogs.
that makes sense, because other than she letting them know that they're there, you're also aware that something's going on.
Yep, yep. And dogs, their ability to hear and smell is 10,000 times greater than ours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like they always say, you know, I mean, granted, there's certain dogs out there that they bark and they're a nuisance, but there's ways to remedy that. But the flip side of that is, when you have a trained canine and they bark, you know it's not for nothing.
Correct.
They're
Correct.
barking for a reason. They're telling you something.
Right.
And,
Right.
and it's up to us to recognize that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
And the flip side of that is, animals are the one of the best judges of character. They can sense
Oh, yeah.
if somebody's intentions are good or not.
Right. Even even if it's your friend that you're bringing over to the house, they can tell. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
So yeah. So those are tools, right? Little tools that people can use from a pet, from the habits, to taking some self-defense classes, some first aid classes,
Yep.
little things that people can do to make themselves a little bit more aware and have a little bit better tools in their chest, per se.
100%. Oh, and the other thing is, so like in Huntington Beach, we have, I think it's FT, it's Field Tactical. It's a range on Beach Boulevard, and there's another one called the Firing Line, and they have classes. They have beginners firearm classes where your average person go in there, they'll fire off 100 rounds out of a Glock or whatever handgun they're training on. I don't necessarily steer people towards firearms, and the reason why is the liability factor. I myself, I have a $3.5 million bond. So everybody talks about carrying a firearm, but nobody talks about in case you have to use it. So
The aftermath, yeah.
I have levels of force. I carry pepper spray, a flashlight, a knife, a firearm at all times, carrying those 4 levels. And then if I'm on an assignment, I have an ASP. I have a backup pepper spray. I have handcuffs. So it's one of those things where the very first thing that happens, say I'm involved in a shooting, okay?
Right.
I shoot somebody, they go down, they go to the hospital. Do you know what happens to me?
Well, I don't know if you'd go to jail, but law enforcement's definitely going to be speaking to you.
I'm arrested on the spot. I'm arrested and I'm charged. I'm arrested. I have to do a full battery of blood work on the scene. CSI will come to the scene and pull 3 vials of blood out of my arm. Number 1, to establish if there's alcohol or drugs in my system. That's number 1. Number 2, I'll be arrested. I'll be charged with discharging a firearm, attempted murder, and there could be a few other things that I'm charged. I, in turn, need to contact my attorney. I am not to discuss anything with law enforcement. Not all the way down to, say I'm involved in a shooting and I call the police department. I cannot say, by the way, Officer Smith, I was just involved in a shooting. The only thing that I can say is, I need a police response right now. There is a man down, and that's it. There's no including myself, are saying, I did this, I did that. Because the bottom line, you will get through the criminal process. Say it's a justified shooting. You get through the criminal process, and then you have to face the civil.
Right.
And on average, they're going to sue you for the max of your bond.
100%. Yeah.
2.5 million. And it only takes 51% of a jury verdict to win the case. Once that happens, number one, they clean you out financially. Number two, your career is over because you're involved in a shooting.
Right.
Your license has been suspended by the state of California. Your CCW has been suspended by the sheriff's department. What do you do?
Yeah.
So when it comes to carrying a firearm, I've been in situations where I've had to draw down on people. And the last time I had to draw down on a subject was at a very well-known couple's home in Beverly Hills. This gentleman jumped over an 8-foot high fence and claimed he was related to my female client and did not respond well to voice commands, to the point where I drew down on him with my firearm. And do you know what he did? He put his arms out and he goes, "Shoot me," and continued walking towards me in a threatening manner. I reholstered my firearm, pulled out my pepper spray, and I sprayed him. And we ultimately took him into custody, had Beverly Hills PD come out, clear him. The medics came out, cleared him, and he went on his way. But the bottom line is, it's like, you may be great with firearms, you may be a tactical shooter, this or that, but your life is going to be destroyed if you have to.
Right. You're responsible for that bullet as it discharges.
You're responsible for any collateral damage. Say that round misses the target, goes through the wall, and hits somebody else. You know what I mean? So it is the largest responsibility I have ever had in my life is carrying a firearm. So that's why I circle back to pepper spray, hand-to-hand combat training. Learn your skills.
Figure a different way than a weapon like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
There is an alternative out there. It's called Byrna, Byrna. The Byrna basically fires pepper balls, basically like mace, pepper balls, rubber rounds, rubber bullets. They have a few other types of ammunition that can be loaded into this gun, but it's not a firearm. It's CO2. And more, we are seeing security agencies adding the Byrna to the loadout for assignments, because the chances of you being arrested for manslaughter, all the other stuff that comes with being involved in a shooting are basically cut to zero. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you do have to engage somebody with that Byrna, they're going to be able to get up and walk away.
Right.
They might be stinging a little bit.
Yeah.
You might hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
They might be crying for a little bit, but yeah, Byrna is a good option. If somebody out there is, number one, they don't want to own a firearm, they're not comfortable with firearms, they can get a Byrna as a home defense, self-defense.
Right. Yeah, something not as lethal as a gun, basically.
There you go.
Yeah, no. So as we get ready to wrap up our interview, what exciting plans are you working on in the next 6 to 12 months?
Oh wow! So I can't disclose the name right now because the process that we're in, but Black River Security is rolling it out to a let's just say 32 facility assignment.
Mm-hmm.
5 of the facilities are large scale. And when I say large
Mm-hmm.
scale, think hospital,
Mm-hmm.
think college campus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we're going to be training 150 agents
Oh,
over the
wow.
month and a half
Mm-hmm.
specifically for this rollout. We're deploying 6 officers per location, as well as other locations that are going to require 2 to 4 officers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's exciting, number one, because I oversee a lot of the hiring. Myself and Darlene Boyd, who is our chief of staff, we oversee a lot of the hiring. And what's so wonderful about working in the security industry, it's a lot like the Marine Corps. When you hit a certain level in the security industry, it gets very small in terms of your associates.
Mm-hmm.
And you become very close knit because you work different assignments together. For instance, I worked the riots years ago in LA, the Summer of Love riots.
Mm-hmm.
I still have the relationships with the guys I worked with today. And that was
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago,
Right.
so where I have an assignment and a opportunity that we're working on right now, I get to shake that tree
Mm-hmm.
and reconnect with all these agents that I've worked with over the years and be like, hey, Jim, I want to hire you on as one of my leads. And the wonderful thing about it, it eliminates question on is it going to take 90 days to figure out whether this guy deserves to be here or not?
Right.
You follow, it
Yeah,
eliminates
it's
that.
easier. You know them already. You have the relationship with them already.
There you go.
And it's easy to bring him on board, especially if you're going to have him as a lead. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that right there. Uh, Another area the Black River is working right now is we are currently in the process of the bidding, or what you say, RFQ, request for proposal, for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, RF, uh-huh.
We will be involved in security operations with the Olympic Games when they come to Los Angeles.
Oh, nice.
So there's, and Huntington Beach in particular, I'm very involved with the Chamber of Commerce and special events in the city. I sit on a government affairs committee with the Chamber of Commerce, having to do with a lot of pro-business legislation
Mm-hmm.
that currently working its way through the House and the Senate in the state of California. Because as you well know, California isn't necessarily the most business-friendly climate.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So instead of sitting back and complaining about it, I try to put my 2 cents in and
Yeah.
try to be part of the solution versus, the problem.
Right, right.
But all in all, man, we're rocking and rolling in terms of the security industry. We're heavily focused on training people,
Right.
and empowering people,
Yeah.
putting
What?
people in a better position than they were.
Yes. Well, Zachary, thank you so much for sharing all your insights, and it's really informative, I think, for everybody. This basically touches all of the audience, no matter what age you are or where you live. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how could they get a hold of you?
They can look me up on LinkedIn. My full name, Zachary, Zachary. Last name is Newkirk, Newkirk. Our website is blackrivers.com. We can be reached through there. And if somebody simply has a question, because I do assessments, I do critical assessments, I get a lot of questions because people are uncertain when it comes to security operations. And the security world is so vast and so broad, you can't really put it into one bucket. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
we do
Right.
everything from your standard armed transport, going and picking up an executive at John Wayne Airport and driving them to a Vea hotel for a meeting, and then turn around and driving them back to hop on their plane and fly back to New York or wherever they're from. Um, but it also touches on, we're getting into the drone robotics side of the industry. We have a cybersecurity division. Our chief IT, our chief information officer is an absolute genius when it comes to everything digital. Do fugitive recovery, to where somebody jumps bond or somebody's involved in a case and they need to be tracked down. We can generally track somebody down in a matter of days and locate them.
Right.
We assist in child custody cases for supervised visitation, investigations. So, like I said, everything and anything that has to do with the security industry, we cover the full spectrum.
Amazing. Well, Zachary, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. And to our audience, please go to ocpowerplayers.com and follow us on your favorite channel. Thank you, Zachary.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for listening to Orange County Power Players. Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at ocpowerplayers.com/guest.